A man by the name of Jeff Fry from Lorain County is suing jail officers, the city, and various other groups for a police officer breaking his neck and causing him to be partially paralyzed. The cops are claiming that the fall was a result of Jeff Fry being intoxicated, but you can see the cop slamming him into the wall headfirst, causing him a neck fracture.
Case of an Elyria man who says a Lorain County jailer broke his neck. That man has now filed a $40 million civil rights lawsuit. News 5 investigator Scott Knoll, the first reporter to speak with Jeff Fry about what happened last year, and Scott's here now with more on today's filing in court.
Rob, Jeff Fry got emotional today talking about how his life changed since his injury. And while that $40 million figure may sound ridiculous to some people, Fry's attorney says he has no problem asking a jury for that much. In his words, Fry was brutalized inside the Lorain County Jail last May.
Oh, $40 million is definitely not enough, especially when the cops have partially paralyzed this man. That's an extreme loss of quality of life that these cops should be have to pay for. His medical bills, like nurses and stuff like that, special equipment, anything that he may need to help make his life better again. And these cops should be required to pay out of pocket just like any normal person that would have caused uh, injury to another person instead of the city paying for these cops.
The video from inside the Lorain County Jail can be tough to watch. Civil rights attorney Nick DiCello says that's why it's important no one turns away.
This is one of the most blatant and outrageous uses of excessive force that we have seen.
Last May 12th, Jeff Fry was brought to the jail after Elyria police arrested him on a misdemeanor bench warrant. Video shows Fry is searched, then walked toward another room for a body scan. That's when the 58-year-old appears to turn away from the jailer escorting him. In an instant, that jailer...
Okay, he just turned his head a little bit in that direction. The cops want to claim that they thought he was going to run, but I mean, where is he really going to go? He's in a jail. I mean, he may be able to go out the door, but he's still on, like, police property. Cops would be able to capture him.
Brian Tellier appears to lower his weight and fling Fry, who's handcuffed behind his back, toward a wall.
Yeah, and he slams him into the wall. Like, why would you need to do that? And the cops are going to claim that it was drunk, but he was walking fine down the hallway or down the way. He wasn't drunk.
There's no give in that wall, and Jeff was just put face first into it.
In his report, Tellier wrote he was worried Fry would escape and blamed the fall on Fry's, quote, intoxicated state. Last fall, Fry...
Cops just love to make up whatever they can to get themselves out of trouble. It's just like a little kid lying to their parent when they get caught doing something wrong.
Told us he wasn't planning to run and that he didn't remember what happened next. Video shows jailer pick Fry up, then carry him into another booking room, Fry's legs dragging beneath him. At no point was
They can obviously tell that there's something wrong, but do they, like, actually treat him? No, they don't.
his head or neck stabilized, not even as video captured Fry repeatedly being slammed onto a stretcher. At the hospital, his lawyer says Fry was diagnosed with multiple fractures in his neck and permanent damage to his spinal cord. As the video played today, Fry said he couldn't watch. The emotions, even 8 months later, just too much.
Just because I couldn't.
All those people are at fault for what has happened to him.
Believe it could be done to anybody.
Fry's left arm is still in a sling. He says because of his injuries, he still requires help to do many day-to-day activities.
I'm still paralyzed, probably 80% in my arms. I can't dress myself.
In the federal civil rights lawsuit, Fry's attorney names Tellier the jailer. Lorain County Sheriff, the City of Elyria, the ambulance company, as well as others, seeking money for what DiCello calls excessive force, medical negligence, and other civil rights violations, believing what happened to Fry was not an isolated incident, instead, what he called a culture and leadership problem.
Nobody's ever interviewed Jeff from the Lorain County.
Stuff like this happens in jails all over the United States because cops are bad people. They have qualified immunity and they know they can, for the most part, like 99% of the time, get away with their crimes. They're able to falsify records to make it seem like they're in the right, so they're able to get away with what they do. Look at Coffee County in Middle Tennessee. The entire police department got suspended for cops falsifying their records so that they can continue to be cops and commit crimes. We need to investigate every single police department and investigate all the cops and see what crimes they have been committing.
County Sheriff. No one has ever asked him what happened. No one has ever said that's wrong and it shouldn't have happened to you.
My goodness, Scott, let's set that aside for the time being. This isn't the only lawsuit the sheriff and his staff face connected to problems in that jail.
Against him. You may remember the video. In it, investigators say you can see corrections officer Ruben Ortiz repeatedly hit a man. Ortiz is facing assault and falsification charges for the August incident. The man in that video was scheduled to go to a mental health facility.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon for when people are getting booked in to the police or to jail, that the police end up attacking them for nothing. It's because cops are trash. And just like in Coffee County, where the police chief was hiring some of the worst of the worst to be cops, that happens in police departments all over the nation, where some of the worst people are hired to be cops. So all they do is abuse people and get away with it.
He's suing Ortiz, the sheriff, the county, as well as other jail employees. A trial date has not been set in that case. Meanwhile, Ortiz pleaded not guilty to those criminal charges against him. And today, one of Fry's attorneys told me they're currently looking into multiple other potential civil rights cases involving Lorain County Jail as well. We reached out to a sheriff's spokesperson today for comment on Fry's lawsuit. So far, though, no response. However, we're told the FBI continues its investigation into what happened.